Habanos prices 2022. Is Cohiba the most expensive cigar among all the Cuban ones? Yes. Cigar lovers, hey, welcome back. Guess who's back? Back again. Here I am, one more time. I'm talking about cigars, and it took me over a little bit more than 2 weeks to come back with the video. Number one, because when I knew about the new prices coming up for the Cuban cigars, I wanted to make a video especially about it, and I wanted to make a video the most realistically possible, because first it started just as a rumor that the Cuban cigars were going to be super expensive, and it was a big news. All right, so finally I can tell you that on May the 2nd, we got the new prices list. And yes, the cost of the Cuban cigars went up drastically. I'm going to talk about Mexico because that's what I know. I know in Mexico, from one city to another city, we have different prices. Then in the same city, depending where the tobacco shop is going to be less or more expensive. And to make it clear, all what is happening now with these prices, I am going to talk about the legit distribution. Okay, I don't want to talk about other things like well, you know what I mean. I just want to talk about the legit distribution. And for those who don't know, in Mexico there is only one importer. So this importer has 3 kinds of certified places. Those 3 certified places, they are Habanos Point. You will see the logo. On every place where you see the logo Habanos Point, that means they are certified and they are selling authentic Cuban cigars. Then there is the Habanos Especialista. That's what we are. The next one is Casa del Habano. So those 3 places, they are authorized, they are certified, and they sell authentic Cuban cigars. Habanos Point, Habanos Specialist, and Casa del Habano. Now, what the difference is between these 3 places? Habanos Point doesn't need to have a walk-in humidor. A Habanos Point could be in a supermarket, it could be in a liquor store. They could have a tiny humidor with probably 100 Cuban cigars, but they are certified. Okay? Then the Habanos Specialist. Habanos Specialist, it's mandatory to have a walk-in humidor and an area to smoke. More than 50% of the merchandise displayed in the store has to be Cuban. We are, I guess that's the word, obligated to have some of the best Cuban cigars. Why? Because we are Habanos Specialists. So we gotta have Cohibas, regardless of the price, limited editions, regional editions. I'm going to show you some of the pictures of the limited or regional editions. We gotta have them, okay? So The next one is Casa del Habano. Casa del Habano is a franchise. There is most of the times just one Casa del Habano per city, with some exceptions. Like in Mexico City, there are two. And remember, I'm just talking about Mexico because this is my field. That's what I know. Okay? Casa del Habano, they have to sell exclusively Cuban cigars. That's it. While in Habanos Specialist, we could have Dominican, Nicaraguan, Mexican, and of course mandatory Cuban. Casa del Habano, it gotta be only Cuban cigars, all right? But they have their advantages too, because there are some cigars made exclusively for them, and no other store has the chance to have those cigars. Now that we know the way the Cuban cigars are distributed in Mexico, I am going to show you a box like this, the way it comes from Cuba, okay? So as you can tell, the boxes from Cuba, when they come out of Cuba, they come like that. They don't come with all the stickers. I mean, they have these stickers, the authenticity, okay? But they don't come like this one. This one is in Mexico with the warnings, the same stickers to prove the authenticity, but in Mexico they come with all the warnings. Okay, so since we're talking about these kind of places and we are talking about this kind of merchandise, let's get into the numbers. Habanos prices 2022. Is Cohiba the most expensive cigar among all the Cuban ones? Yes, but there are 6 brands that they are called the global brands. So that means that you are going to be able to find them all over the world, okay? And there are the non-global. In some countries you find them, in some other countries, no, they are not that lucky. And these global brands are, I made a video about that, so you could check it out. But they are Cohiba, Montecristo, Romeo y Julieta, Pollo de Monterrey, Pargas, and H. Upman. And there is another one, Jose L. Piedra. But Jose L. Piedra, I didn't include it here, even it is a global brand, because the increase in the prices is not significant and is not at top of the line. Okay, so let's start with the Cohibas. Cohiba raised the prices from 41 to 63% in general. So some cigars they are like 63, some cigars they are like 49, 50, some are 41, but they go from 41 to 63. Montecristo, some of their vitoles they are 12%, and some other ones they went up by 62%, and some others in the middle, you know, like 23, like you will see the numbers one by one later on. Romeo y Julieta, they went between 12 and 102% up. Pollo de Monterrey wasn't that bad, so that's from 12 to 14%. Pargas, not too bad neither, but went from 12 to 29%, around 12 to 29% up. And H. Upman, it was not too bad, it was only from 12 to 14. So if we consider the inflation on the last couple years, and especially this year, at least in Mexico, inflation it's about 13%. Officially, they were talking about less than 10, but then next month it shows up with 13. We know in Mexico, in reality, could be, I don't know, probably like 20%. And these are items that they are luxury, so it's normal that they go over the average inflation of any country. In the United States, it's something between 7-8%, the official numbers, and most of the people gotta know that it's probably more than 10. Now let's go brand by brand and cigar per cigar, at least the most well-known or the most demanded. Cohiba Robusto, these are the most demanded cigars of this brand. Cohiba Robusto, I got it right here. This guy went up by 49% on his cost. Remember the structure of the price for the final consumer? Gotta consider the final price is cost of the product, expenses of selling, cost of obviously cost of selling, and other costs, plus the profit. So when I say 49% is the raise on the cost. So the cost was up by 49%. Then when I was saying in the same city, you are going to find the price probably in a Habanos Point, a little different price in the Habanos Specialist, and probably a little different price in Casas del Habano. Why? Because, as an example, Habanos Point, if it's a supermarket or a liquor store, they are not specialized on cigars. I mean, they don't depend on selling Cuban cigars to succeed or not succeed, okay? So probably they got a lower profit. They mark it up a little bit less, but they don't have a big supply. And they sell food and drinks and water and pub and everything, all right? So a specialista en Habanos or Habanos specialist depends on the cigars, but the cigars, they are going to be very, very, very well preserved. In Casa del Habano, they have only Habanos, all right? They don't have either Dominican or Nicaraguan. So this variation is going to probably change the final price from place A to place B to place C. But any of those three should be selling a Cohiba Robusto for around $70. Cohiba Esplendido, like this one, it increased the cost by 41%. So depending on the strategy of every of these places that I mentioned before, they will have their final price, and it's going to be around $85 or maybe more, but I don't think less than $85, okay? Siglo number 6. Siglo number 6 got a 41% up, and it has to be about $90. Pirámide Extra, 41% increase in the cost, and the final price has to be about $95. Vejique 52, I got it right here. Okay, Vejique, it went up by 52%, as well as Vejique 54 and Vejique 56. These cigars, they are really hard to find. So probably these ones, they are harder to find than the Robustos, Esplendidos, or Siglo number 6. So these ones that went up by a 52% in their cost, probably they will be increased more than that, because demand supply. Low supply, high demand, the price is going to be up, and it has to be at least between $125 $130. The Vehicle 54 has to be about $170, and I am talking about the real numbers. I'm not talking about rumors. I am talking about these numbers. The increase in the cost, they are the official ones that we got sent, because that's the price we buy now, starting May the 2nd. Vehicle 56, it's going to be around $190, probably $200 for a Vehicle 56. Cohiba Maduros, there are three: Mágicos, Genios, and Secretos. Mágicos is a little shorter than a Robusto, and that one went up by 63%. So, if I'm not wrong, checking the numbers, that is the one that increased the most his cost at 63%, and the price to the final consumer will be about $85. And Genios is the biggest on this line. It's more or less the size of a Cohiba Siglo number 6. That one will be $95. Secretos, it's a little guy, probably the size of Cohiba Siglo number 1. Went up by 46%, and the final price for the consumer is going to be like $40. All right. The rest of the Cohibas, they are between 49, 48, so 38 to 49% up in their cost. I didn't go deep into all the Cohibas, because the other ones that I mentioned before, they are the most demanded. Montecristo, the second most famous brand. There is a new line. Is the line called 1935. Check this out. This is the big boy of that line. This is Montecristo Leyenda. But there is Dumas and Maltese. So in sizes, Montecristo Dumas is the smallest, Maltese is medium size, and Leyenda is this one, is the big boy. They went up by 62%. So Dumas will be, if you want to smoke a Dumas, you gotta be ready to spend about $50. Maltese about $60, and Leyenda about $70 at least, if not more, depending where you buy it. Then there is another line called Edmundo. This one I'm going to show you. This is the Petit Edmundo, and this is the middle size. Then there is the Edmundo, and there is the double Edmundo. So this is the smallest one. Edmundo, this line went up by 23%. Edmundo is going to be $38 to $40. Petit Edmundo, the one that I show you, about $30, and the double Edmundo about $42 US. 42, 40, 45, something like that. The rest of the cigars, Montecristo number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, and 5, tubos, the Linea Open, like Open Eagle, Open Regatta, Open Master, Ollitas, Petit number 2. The rest of the Montecristo cigars, they went up between 12 and 13%. So those are not too bad. The next brand is Romeo y Julieta. Romeo y Julieta, they came out shortly. In 2020, they started with the Linea de Oro. Okay? I'm going to show you the 3 cigars Linea de Oro. Okay. Look. These are the Linea de Oro. They are Dianas, Hidalgos, and Nobles. All these cigars, they went up by 102%. So The prices of these cigars are going to be pretty much Diana's, no less than $62, Hidalgo's about $50, and Nobles pretty much the same, about $50. The difference between this and this is not even $1 difference. Okay. Then there is another one that surprises me with the 32%. They went up by 32%. This little guy. I think this cigar is a substitute of Cohiba Panetela and Monte Cristo Joyitas. So, like Monte Cristo Joyitas and Cohiba Panetela, it's hard to find. These ones, they are easier to find. So they go, why not? So let's put it up by 32%. And now the final price is going to be about $13 to $15 more or less. The line Churchill with Churchill, short Churchill, wide Churchill, and petite Churchill. All of them, they went up with a 23%. Well, sorry, the petite Churchill went up by 24%. This one you are seeing here is short Churchill. Okay? So this short Churchill, if you want to smoke it, you gotta be ready to spend about $34, $35. Churchill, which is a 7-inch cigar, is going to be over $50. I was calculating that it's going to be at least between $50 and $52 or more. And then the white Churchill is going to be about $36. And the petite Churchill is like this, but like this long. It's going to be about $25 minimum. The rest of the cigars made by Romeo y Julieta, they went up by 12 to 14%. Joyo de Monterrey, they make excellent cigars. They make great cigars like Epicure number 1, Epicure number 2, Double Coronas, Joyo de San Juan, Joyo de Rio Seco. I just discovered the Joyo de Deputé. They are really good. And the good news is those cigars, they went up only between 12 and 14%. Partagas, the full body Partagas. I think the most popular of the cigars they sell is Partagas Series D number 4. The next one I think should be Partagas P number 2. And of course, they went up. And they went up by 23%. Partagas Series P number 2. It is going to be about $37. Partagas Series D, 23% up, will be costing for you guys, final consumers, about $32. Series D number 5, which is the short version of the D number 4, is going to be about $28. Series E number 2, about $40 US. And Series D number 6, why not? If possible, let's put it up a little bit more. So that one is 29% increasing the cost, and it's going to be rounding $24 to $25 as a minimum. The rest of the cigars made by Partagas, they went up between 12 and 14%. Among those other cigars made by Partagas, I am going to recommend you, if you find Maduros number 1, number 2, or number 3, they are excellent cigars and they didn't increase the price too much. So if you find them, don't think it twice and buy them and smoke them. I hope they don't go up too much because the production is not very common, but if you find them, give them a try. The next global brand is H. Upmann, and H. Upmann, we are lucky. Like me, I like Connoisseur, the line Connoisseur. I love it. My favorite Connoisseur is Connoisseur B. Okay, and Connoisseur B is a cigar. I'm going to show you this. This is a punch, okay? But look at this label here. This label comes with two logos. So when you see this logo here, that's the logo of a Habanos specialist. This one here is the logo of Casa del Habano. So when you see this second label on a cigar, that means that that cigar is that special that is made to be sold only in those two places. So that tells you how close they are, Habanos Specialist and Casa del Habano, that they are making cigars for those two places, okay? Of course, as I said before, they are different. Somehow they are different, but they are the highest level of retailers in the Habanos world. So on the line Connoisseur B is one of my favorite cigars, and is one of these two label cigar. So I recommend you to give a try to Connoisseur line. H. Upmann number 2, that's a Pyramide, that's another good option. And now that we already talked about the 6 global brands, let's go with the non-global brands. These non-global doesn't mean that they are bad cigars. No, it just means that as they are not as well known as the other 6 that we were talking about before, so they are not going to be available in all the countries. There is an exception. You know, Trinidad, people who's been in the cigar shop with me, when people ask me what I can recommend them, and everybody's looking for Cohibas, okay? So when they tell me, what can you recommend me as a good Cuban cigar, but not as expensive as Cohiba? And I was always saying, try Trinidad. They have the same standards, triple fermenting. So the tobacco to make Trinidad was fermented 3 times, as well as Cohiba. The rest of the brands, they ferment the tobacco only 2 times. Trinidad, as well as Cohiba, the tobacco is aged for no less than 3 years. So it's the same standard, same quality. But before May the 2nd this year, I used to tell people, try Trinidad because it's a high quality cigar, as good as Cohiba, but less expensive. And guess what? I think I spoke too loud. So Trinidad is as good as Cohiba, and the increase on the price of these cigars is 146%. Okay? So now those days of try Trinidad because it's as good as Cohiba but less expensive, they are long gone. Okay? So now, if you want to smoke this Trinidad Fundadores, you gotta be ready to spend no less than $85 in a retail store of these 3 that I told you: Habanos Point, Habanos Specialist, and Casa del Habano. Why I keep saying these 3 places? Because there are other places that they are not certified and you don't know, and I don't want to talk about those places. I'm talking about just the legit. Okay, so Trinidad Esmeraldas. This one is 146% up, and it's $75 what you have to spend if you want to smoke a Esmeraldas. So the rest of the Trinidad cigars like Reyes, Coloniales, Vigía, Media Luna, and Topes, they went up between 75 and 86%. Now, there are some cigars that they didn't increase their prices that much. Why? Because they are not that famous, because they are not that demanded. Remember, supply demand, that makes a difference. Fonseca, between 6 and 7%. Sancho Panza, 7%. Anyway, Sancho Panza is really hard to find, but it went up just by 7%. Flor de Cano, between 6 and 7%. This one is interesting. Vegas Robina. Vegas Robina, they make one cigar like this. This is the Famosos. And they make another Torpedo. Vegas Robina Únicos. Give yourself the chance to try those cigars and you won't be disappointed. So Vegas Robina went up only by 7%. Quintero, that's a good cigar for somebody who's starting to smoke the Cuban cigars. So it went up between 4 and 8%. Jose Piedra, 4%. Vegueros is good. Vegueros has 4 different cigars, and this is the one that I like the best. I like the most this cigar, okay? They went up only between 4 and 6%. Another good one, another that I like, San Cristobal. This is San Cristobal de La Habana. San Cristobal de La Habana went up only by 7%. Rey del Mundo. If you guys anytime want to smoke a very easy smoking cigar, a very nice cigar, without spending a fortune, try this one, El Rey del Mundo. It's kinda light. This is a mild to light cigar, but you won't regret. This one could be comparable to Joyo de Monterrey, less expensive, and it went up only by 7%. And there are more like Rafael Gonzalez Marquez. I'm not fan of that one. St. Louis Rey, yeah, I like it. 6%. It went up only by 6%. Juan Lopez. People who come to El Gato Gordo Cigar Club, they know I always push on Juan Lopez and I tell people, try this one, you won't regret. I guess this is going to be more popular. This cigar, Juan Lopez Selección Número 2, went up by 8%. Bolivar, another classic. That's a beautiful, excellent full body cigar. Went up between 7 and 12%, so it's not too bad. Cohiba, 6 to 16%. Yeah, some of those they went a little higher, but Punch between 6 and 8%, and Punch, this is the one that you check out before. I highly recommend it. This is Punch 48, specially made for Habanos specialist and Casa del Habano. Try it. Quai d'Orsay, of course, the 50 and the 54. There is another one. If you find it, buy it. It's called the Senadores. It's a limited edition for the year 2017. Buy it. You will love it. And Diplomáticos, especially Diplomáticos number 2, another torpedo, went up only by 6%. Ramon Ayones, what about this? Specially selected, that's a beauty. Ramon Ayones went up between 7 and 10%. And last but not least, this one, La Rañaga. La Rañaga came out with 2 cigars that I love. One of them is this one. This is Picadores. And there is another one called Galanes. Whenever you are able, whenever you find them, give them a try and you will like them. If you are into the smooth smoking, to the smooth tobacco, you will love them. Okay? So finally, what would we say? That's the conclusion of this situation. I don't know. The idea of standardize the prices globally might be a good idea, but I hope it happens. But if it doesn't happen, because there are too many factors, very soon I am going to make a trip to Cuba because I want to see if they change the prices the same way in Cuba, because otherwise it's easy. Go to Cuba, buy cigars. Because why I mentioned this, because they were saying, oh, it's like the iPhone. The iPhone is going to be the same price And I'm not saying the company mentioned iPhone. No, it was in a video. A journalist said it's going to be like iPhone. iPhone is the same price everywhere in the world. Yeah, but I want to go to Cuba and see if they are the same price than everywhere, or they are going to have better prices. I don't know. But on the meantime, I think the best we can do is, as we have a saying in Mexico, if you have enough money to buy whiskey, you gotta have money for the ice cubes. All right? And in my experience, people keep buying Cohibas. But for the people who it represents a lot of money to buy a Cohiba or one of those Trinidad or one of those Romeo y Julieta, we have a great selection of other cigars that they were kind of ignored. The most expensive or the ones that increase the cost, and obviously it's going to be reflected on the price for the final consumer. And these cigars that I recommend to give a try, because they shouldn't be that expensive, because they increase something between 4, 6, 7%, so they are affordable and they are high quality. And I think the balance is going to be these cigars that I'm recommending you, they should be more sold out on the next months. I don't know how long it is going to take for all the retailers to increase their prices. I don't know if because it's not mandatory. So somebody who has a stock could be selling for the same old price until he finishes his stock, but it's nothing really wise to do. Just imagine people who got lots of boxes of Trinidad, their stock went up by 150% up. Anyway, let's see how it goes little by little and have a look at these cigars. Right, so these cigars you are watching here, they are the ones that increase their cost and obviously their final price the most. And in that order, practically: Trinidad, Cohiba, Montecristo, the 1935 line, Leyenda Dumas and Maltese, the Línea de Oro, made by Romeo y Julieta, and the Churchill line. Okay, so now we are going to check the cigars that I recommend you to give a try. Give them the chance, give them a try, because those cigars, they didn't increase their cost too much. It's something between 4, 7, 12%. So when you see those cigars, buy them if you want to discover something. Okay, so once we got all this information, Cuban cigars, the Habanos, definitely they are, I would say, the best tobacco in the world. But being fair, you know, I don't want you guys to think that I am always on the Habanos side. No, that's what we sell for a business. That's what we do for a living. But I don't know, this might end up in giving us the opportunity or forcing us to try other products. So I wish this is the best for everybody. And the panic attack is gone. You know, too many people were talking about, oh my God, this is going to be expensive. And some people in the business, oh, this is crazy, we are not going to sell. I can tell you by my experience that, yeah, the products, they keep selling. People keep smoking the cigars because people want quality. So just give us quality and we pay the price. And that's what I tell to people, because I am in the two sides. I smoke Cuban cigars and I want quality, and I sell Cuban cigars and I want to sell quality for the fair price. That's all I can say. Salud. See you next time. Follow us on the social network: Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. See you soon. Smoke less, smoke better. Salud. Okay? Bye bye, guys.